Hey guys, Noel here, and it is Tuesday night. Before we go to bed, I thought it would be fun for us to do a video game review for the video game section of the YouTube channel. Recently on the channel, we reviewed the Cheeky Boys or Mega Twins, depending on your region, for the Sega Genesis. Tonight I thought it would be fun for us to actually review the arcade version of that game, which is delivered to us on the PlayStation 2 through the Capcom Classics Collection, Volume 2. So without further ado, let's play the Cheeky Boys or Mega Twins Arcade Edition, and we'll see there's actually quite a few similarities to the Sega Genesis version and some interesting differences. So I'm going to put the attract mode on, hit the lights, and you enjoy this review. So first off, the thing that is pretty noteworthy is that there is no audio track on the attract mode. This is not actually on mute. There's just actually no audio track. So there's that. Alright, I'm going to hit the lights. Now, when you play the Sega Genesis version of this game, there's a very nice jingle at the beginning of it, and another thing that's noteworthy is in this version of the game, the arcade version, you only get 3 slots to put your name in, which is a thing. Another interesting thing is this version does support 2-player. However, since I'm only one person, we're just going to play this on 1 player, because no one wants to be up in the middle of the night playing, apparently, 1990 Capcom arcade games with me. Everyone is sleeping, which is fine. You'll notice it looks, I would say, pretty darn similar to the Sega Genesis version. However, certain things are definitely a bit more smooth looking. The Sega Genesis version is incredibly beautiful, but it has a slightly flatter, more pixelated look to it, whereas this has a bit more rounded, soft shimmer shadow to it. And maybe just a little bit smoother in terms of our frame rate. I'm not like a big aficionado on things like frame rate, but this just does feel like there's a bit more animation to it than the Genesis version. But it's minor. I would say the Genesis version really captures the look and feel and is quite close to the original. Definitely more sound effects in the arcade version, and rather than going to a black screen in between levels, we just kind of walk straight through. Now, obviously, the biggest difference here is playing this on the Capcom's Classics Collection. We get infinite continues as opposed to the 2 continues that we get with the Sega Genesis version, which means I've actually had the privilege to beat this game, and it does get quite hectic the farther you get into the game in terms of the amount of stuff that's on the screen and the difficulty of the bosses. So that Sega Genesis version with 2 continues is, I'll tell you right now, that's going to be brutal once you get into the later levels of the game, because there's just bosses that take a lot of hit damage, and they just fire stuff all over the screen. But right now, this is pretty straightforward. We've got our first boss coming up right here. And music is darn near identical to the Genesis version, in my opinion. We do get this doo-doo to let us know that we're in trouble with our hit points here. So it looks like we got our first guy defeated, and there we have it. Now, there isn't a store screen where you buy things in between boss fights, but you do get, power up based on your quality of playthrough of the level. And as with the original, this is the original, as with the Sega Genesis version, which we originally reviewed, we can choose the order of the first 3 levels that we want to tackle here. You'll also notice that we respawn right in the level, as opposed to the Sega Genesis version. We get that cute black screen where you're waving the white flag. Which is what we get right there when we're, in trouble and have to insert more coins. But since this is set to infinite continues, it doesn't really matter. But it's still, even though this is on infinite continues, it's still quite fun to play. It's just a much more relaxing experience, because, you don't have to really stress about getting a game over, because it's pretty darn near impossible unless you just give up. There's nothing in here that, a little bit of stick-to-itiveness can't help. If you just stick with the game, you'll beat it. We're running up on our second boss fight right here. And that's a different power-up than you would, I believe, get in the Genesis version, if memory serves me correctly. But again, Genesis version is pretty close to the arcade, outside of the fact that you're limited to 1 player. So we're just gonna try to get in this dragon's blind spot and hack and slash here. So this game's got a very Dragon Ball-esque feel to it. Lots of round characters, flying clouds, something that looks just like Korn's Lookout coming up right here. And if you actually watch Dragon Ball, there was a Dracula kind of comedy character in it. There's actually a character quite a bit like that later on in the game. So this game definitely has a feel of, this is Capcom's take on the Dragon Ball aesthetic. Because there's clearly the artistic style has got that late 80s Akira Toriyama cutesy style to it. Like 86, 87, 88. So here's our buddy Mayus, the goat man. He's going to give us the Typhoon attack. And now we're going to go underwater in the Sea of Poseidon. Incidentally, this Capcom's Classic Collection 2, I would highly recommend getting. You really do get an awesome range of Capcom games. So we definitely need to review games like Knights of the Round sooner than later. Because that is a great Capcom beat-em-up. Especially, it'd be kind of on topic, what with, this kind of fantasy chic right now with Game of Thrones getting their new season starting on HBO right now. If you do like that kind of fantasy genre, I highly recommend Record of Lodoss War. Now, I've only seen the OVA. I haven't seen too much of Chronicles of Heroic Knight. And what I have seen of Chronicles of Heroic Knight is good. It's not as good as the OVA, but it's still quite good. Ooh. That was a total bad move to try to go for that HP. Got another boss coming up right here. I can see this game being very fun with 2 players. In fact, I'm definitely going to see if my son tomorrow wants to play this with 2 players, because he loves the Cheeky Boys on Sega Genesis. He likes playing that on 1 player, so this boss is pretty tough, because he's got essentially a second life bar. which is something that does kind of come up later in the game. You do get a unpleasant surprise from the final boss of the game where you think you beat him, and you think you've actually kind of gone through the ending, and it's like, oh wait, I'm still alive, fight me again. This guy's got some stick-to-itiveness here. Gosh darn it. That should do it. Still got that nice jingle that we're familiar with from playing this on the Sega Genesis. Oh, and here's Poseidon. So now we've got one of the dragon orbs. That actually didn't mean to make that go faster than it was supposed to. So now we're to the next part of the game where we are going essentially through the final. So we've beaten 3 levels. I think this game's got 9 levels. So we've got a handful of levels more to go here, you have to go through these orders in the level in which you are just given them. There's no picking and choosing which one you want to handle first. Levels are definitely, get harder with your progress. But again, with infinite continues, it's nothing you can't handle. So if you do go play this game in an arcade cabinet, it wouldn't hurt to have a giant pocket full of quarters there. Bring your cargo pants and a fanny pack. And fill them with quarters. Or just buy this on the PlayStation 2 and don't worry about it. Now we have a golden version of the dragon we fought not that long ago. The new attack shoots these little energy balls everywhere. Yeah, in this game, really beautiful, Japanese, Japanese manga sprite aesthetic to it, which I really, really like. And definitely shows the, how fun arcade games were in the early 90s and late 80s, that you could play a really fun side-scrolling platformer like this. Incidentally, the plan tomorrow is to go to Robot City and do a video about it. Now, if you don't know Robot City, that is the really premier arcade in upstate New York. So, I'm a big fan of Kid Shoryuken and how he goes around the Akihabara district in Japan. So, we'll do our own upstate New York version of that tomorrow, if all things go as planned. Alright, here comes the boss, as my son would say. Bosses in this game, again, kind of in that Dragon Ball style, have all kind of comedic looks, puns to their appearance and names. This guy is literally a giant pea fighting me with other smaller peas. Go down, go down, go down. That should do it. So, if nothing else, with this review, you now get a feel for what this game is like beyond the 3rd level where we were stuck at in the Sega Genesis. So, we'll do this level and then we'll wrap it up. And this really lets you know that the game's actually getting quite a bit harder now. The amount of enemies on the screen is going way up. It's got kind of that bullet hell shooter feel to it. We just got to keep, pressing forward and being aware of our surroundings here. This level's interesting because you're scrolling both forward and down, so you've got different directions that you're working with here. Really bright, beautiful, vivid graphics here that I really enjoy. See if we can get down further. Nope, we can't. Not yet. And I think this is a sub-boss fight right here. Yep. We gotta kind of beat this guy before we get walled in here. So again, lots of fun challenge to this game right here as we're getting farther and farther in. And we'll forego that little chest over there, we don't really need it. So now we've got some maze-like structures here that we're dealing with here, and we can tell our HP is low, as evidenced by that. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. Let's try to sneak down here, and this should be a boss fight coming up. Nope. Just more insanity. Here's the boss fight. This thing that I'm fighting is adorable. I don't know what it is, but it's very round and cuddly, and it's doing me a lot of harm, actually, right? Ooh, come on. Nice, expressive faces as we're getting chucked around here. It's another thing I really love about chibi 2D graphics, is the expressions you get, and they really, lend themselves well to this time period. I've said that before in a lot of other videos. Like 16-bit gaming, definitely you could get more realistic proportions, but part of me is almost just like, why? Why would you even want that? Because you get such a great expressiveness with these chibi proportions and giant faces, but I'm a cartoonist, so there you go. So there we have it, guys. That is Cheeky Boys, the arcade edition. So you can look for that however you want to get it. I recommend, if you can get Capcom Classic Collection and a PlayStation 2, that's a really fun, cool way to play this game. Until next time, guys, my name's Noel. You take care. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.